Hey everybody, it's Julie Hoffman from the Okanagan Real Estate Investment Group. Again tonight with my friend Darren Jacklin. Welcome. We have a really special event for you. I'll tell you right now, he came to speak at our group in Kelowna in June. I think it was May or June. May? Anyway, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, May or June. And he gave such a great presentation, and we've been in talks since. So I'm so grateful to you, Darren, for coming to talk to us again tonight. So we're recording this. You'll all get the recording, anybody who joins it, or it'll be on the socials where you saw this information or on your email. And I just want to introduce Darren and kind of a timeline from when we met. We met in 2010, actually. My husband and he went to a networking event, a personal growth event with Dr. John DeMartini. And since then, it's been really fun just to watch Darren expand, grow, and make a bigger and bigger impact. He was one of the first board of directors on EXP Holdings before it became a publicly traded company. Sorry, that's EXP Realty. Started the LYNK Foundation. I say LYNK right now. I'm probably saying it wrong. He was knighted as Sir Darren Jacklin. Most recently, he's going to be talking to us today about a program dear to his heart called Take a Hike and Build a School. And just on a personal note, ever since we started OREG, he's always said yes to doing virtual events or live events ever since we started in 2016. So I just thank you so much, Darren, for always being such a great, support to my little group. I really appreciate it. And we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm hoping that that has a bigger impact on you. So thank you so much. Please, everybody, join me in welcoming Sir Darren Jacklin. Take it away,
Oh,
buddy.
thank you so much, Julie. I'm grateful to be here. It's such an honor and contribute and make a difference in people's lives. And it's great. And one of the things I love about the real estate community, I have a portfolio of real estate all across North America myself. I own a lot of single family homes and some commercial buildings, and I have a portfolio of companies. And I'm grateful also for 10 years, a full decade, to help serve on the board of directors of EXP Realty, EXP World Holdings, from a startup company, with no money, just getting started building airplanes. We're flying it to taking it to 87,000 licensed agents in 24 countries on 5 continents, and actually taking it to NASDAQ to ring the bell and do over $1 billion market cap trading on our first day of trading. So that was incredible. So I learned a lot about globally the real estate industry, and I have a lot of friends all over the world that are in real estate. And so I have a huge passion, desire for real estate. Plus, real estate's changed my life and my financial net worth life, which then just goes towards philanthropy. Once we in our lives achieve a level of success, however we define success on our own terms, what drives me is human growth and potential and self-actualization. Maslow's hierarchy of needs of self-actualization. And one of the things that I've realized, which has really changed my life in the last 5 years, my health, my fitness, my nutrition, my vitality, my aliveness, my joy, my self-expression, is being out in nature. Being out in nature, seeing the squirrels, listening to the birds, breathing the fresh air, grounding myself on the earth, and really just taking self-care time for myself, my mental health, my well-being. And throughout my own personal professional journey with being out in nature, what I've discovered through a ripple of impact through my social media channels of how many people today that live in major cities around the world who are struggling with what we call nature deficit disorder. And you can research this online. There's a lot of information online on the internet about this and through Chat GTP. But NDD, nature deficit disorder, what it is people that live in major cities live in what we call concrete jungles. They're surrounded by concrete and asphalt, and there's not a lot of greenery. A lot of these parks today that are in major cities, because of the cost of real estate and maintenance, they now have artificial turf. And a lot of people who go out to these dog walking parks, they don't get real grass, and they're not by lakes or rivers or streams or by the oceans or by a seawall or getting out to nature. And usually you have to drive for a few hours to get out into nature, to get away from other human beings, to be out in nature for a period of time. And what I've discovered through bringing people with me on this journey of being out in nature, rather than meeting in coffee shops or restaurants in terms of networking opportunities, is bring them out into nature. And what I've discovered through the footprint of people following me on my social media is the transformation that's going on in people's lives personally and professionally. So one of the things I want to share with you today is a passion project of mine, something that's really I'm passionate about, is back in 2022 when I got knighted as Sir Darren Jacklin through the Royal Order of Cappadocia in the country of Spain, to the royal family out of Spain, was I made two public global declarations. The first was to be a global ambassador for mental health awareness. Mental health awareness. We all know people in our lives, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, our places of worships that are impacted, whether it's personally or professionally, from mental health. And mental health shows up in various different forms in our lives. And number two, to be accountable and responsible for building 100 schools around the world over the next decade to help alleviate poverty, provide access to clean drinking water, food security, and education. Now imagine this. Imagine if I could get you off your sofa, get you off the couch, and get you moving your physical body, which then creates more energy. You feel better from a mental health and mental well-being perspective. But what if I could introduce you to a global community of like-minded people who are cause-driven with their hearts and their minds to want to serve and make a difference in humanity? Imagine the networking opportunities, the masterminding opportunities, the collaboration, the collective intelligence of like-minded people. Over the last 5 years, I've had hundreds of people go through what we call Take a Hike and Build the School in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at Mount Seymour Provincial Park. And now we're expanding to the United States of America to take a hike and build a school down there. I want to shift your mindset. If you like to network, if you're raising financial capital, if you're looking for joint venture or strategic alliance partners, if you're looking for a mentor, coach, people to have influence and impact on you. Maybe you're single and you want to mingle and you want to date and find the right catch in your life. Maybe you're looking to have a financial partner. Maybe you're looking for someone to have influence and impact in your life personally or professionally. So I want to invite you into my network and share with you and take you on a journey over the next several minutes to really share with you in terms of educating and informing you on how the world is changing. You know, during the COVID-19 lockdown, many people's lives were impacted by mental health. The statistics are unbelievable with men's suicide rates between 45 and 65 years of age, people feeling alone, people feeling disconnected. So you'll see behind me where it says LYNK. That's Link Foundation. That means linking human beings together. Link Foundation. Because as human beings, it's important that we connect. We link together. That's why we call it Link Foundation. Link Foundation. Linking human beings together for a common purpose, a common goal. So I'm playing a really, really big game in the world right now, building 100 schools around the world for the next generation to help alleviate children that are in poverty conditions, access to clean drinking water, food security, and education. And so one of the things to consider is I want to share with you a short video to kind of take you behind the scenes and show you something that I'd love for you to have an invitation to become with me and get involved with me around the world. And people that you know that love and matter most of your life, your friends and your family, to share with them. You know, we recently saw a United States of America election where they talked about, you know, their campaign of Make America Great Again. We're all related to each other. You know, if we go out into nature and we look at the trees and all the animals, they're all connected. Just as human beings, I believe, my own personal belief is that we're all connected. And so I want to share with you a short video and to really give you a snapshot of view of some stuff that I'm really passionate about. And I'm going to show you here right now this video. In 1 second here.
Link Foundation was started after I went to Africa on a humanitarian trip. I wanted to make a difference in this world, so I decided to start a foundation that builds schools around the world.
We're so grateful to be here in terms of building a mission, a vision that is serving people around the world. You're going to create some incredible relationships today. People from all walks of life, all different age groups, from all backgrounds, from all over the world who come out to take a hike through Elevate to Educate and Link Foundation.
We have over 300 kids who now have a chance to go to school every day. Hiking, the nature, community, meeting people from all over North America. It's truly, truly an amazing event. But just talking to the people here, it made me a lot more confident in who I am, things I have to offer as an artist, but also as a person. We're building 100 schools over the next decade and contributing $100 million to global philanthropy projects through Link Foundation. And through your involvement in coming out with our shared mission and vision, we can enrich people's lives through mental health awareness and also take a hike and build a school to provide access to clean drinking water, food security, and education for the next generation of people on this planet. Well, we're a good cause.
I hope everybody comes out next year.
I invite you to join us. Come join us and celebrate with our success as we make a difference in people's lives.
So that's a little thing to share with you about take a hike, build a school. It's something I'm really passionate about. And what's inspired about that is the difference that we've made in a few hundred people's lives from around all over North America. And one thing that matters most to me in my life with this is the difference that we're making. So many people today are struggling with different things in their life. And I want to make a huge difference in people's lives. And I want to share something with you is with the Link Foundation, I have a team of volunteer crew members from all over North America who are playing a really, really big game to serve humanity and to make a difference in the world, to create a ripple of impact, to transform the human spirit. And one of the things that we're looking at right now is to take a hike and build a school. Now, if you would have asked me a few years ago to go take a hike, I would have told you you're absolutely crazy. I had no interest whatsoever. I didn't have a belief system, a mind system to ever be out in nature. To me, it was a complete waste of time and it was a shiny object. But I can share with you in the last 5 years of building a portfolio of companies, buying lots of real estate across North America, and now doing acquisitions of buying bookkeeping, accounting, tax planning firms through one of my companies called Smashing Numbers. I spend a lot of time every day out into nature. And in fact, a lot of business meetings that I do, and when I'm recruiting and hiring people or raising capital or doing joint ventures or strategic alliances, I take people out to go hiking. I learned few years ago from a gentleman by the name of Chip Wilson, who founded a company called Lululemon here in Vancouver, Canada, where I'm primarily my residence is in Vancouver here. Chip always said he takes people out hiking to get to really know people at a much deeper level. I want to share with you, I want to encourage you that you can go meet people in coffee shops and restaurants, and you can go play pickleball or go golfing and play tennis. Those are all great things to do. But if you want to have people take the mask off and have a more deeper, authentic, and vulnerable, collaborative conversation where you get to know people at a much deeper level, take them out for a walk on a seawall, near a river, a lake, or a stream, or on a hiking trail. Because when you start to sweat together, you bond together. And when you elevate by going through some elevation on a hiking trail, people have a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of adversity, a little bit of a setback. And what I find from my own experiences of doing this with many, many people from all over the world is you really develop a rapport where people get to know you, like you, and trust you. And therefore, people want to do business with you. People want to invest in you financially. Over the last few years, I've seen millions of dollars change hands and people writing checks for businesses, joint ventures, alliances. I've seen people find the love of their life. I've seen people go on to do extraordinary things in their lives by being out on the hiking trails in a like-minded community of people. So Take a Hike, Build a School is an invitation through Link Foundation that we're doing these Take a Hike, Build a School events all across Canada, all across the United States. And in the next couple of years, as we grow this global community, we're going to be going to other countries outside of North America that we're already in collaborative virtual conversations with. The cool thing is it gives you a whole other new level of networking opportunities. So if you're in real estate right now and you're looking to raise money, you're looking to find a strategic partner, you're looking to find a mentor or coach or people you can mastermind and collaborate with, I want to invite you into our community of hikers from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different age groups that are coming together to take a hike to build schools as part of our 100 school mission and vision. And this is fun. See, our mission statement is to build 100 schools. Link Foundation is we build schools. That's what Link Foundation is. We build schools. We are taking on mental health awareness and through Link Foundation, linking people together for human connection. If you go online and you research the statistics of mental health, some of you would be blowing off your seats right now of what's happened over the last few years with mental health statistics. Some of you would be blowing off your seats in regards to the impact of suicide rates. It's staggering, the statistics. I know a number of people in my network that are coaches and counselors and therapists, and the wait list for some of these professionals to get in to see these people, whether it's in person or virtually, is just mind-boggling. The wait list of people getting to see people, because the amount of people that are in breakdowns of crises, mental illness, childhood traumas. And so I'm on a real mission to really serve humanity and make a difference. And I invite you to come with me, really, to be out in nature. And I want you to connect with like-minded people and network and collaborate so you can fulfill on what matters most to you in your life. One of the things that lights me up is what gives me so much joy and fulfillment and aliveness is seeing people win, seeing people achieve their goals and their dreams, what matters to them most in their lives. There's a book that was written many years ago called The 5 Love Languages. The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Now, you may or may not have read this book, but I invite you to, if you've not read the book, you can get it on audio, you can get it at your public library, you can even order it online. You can even listen to the audio, or you can go to Google and type in the 5 Love Languages quiz, the 5 Love Languages quiz on Google. It'll take you about 20 minutes to do a free assessment so you can discover for yourself and for your partner what your 5 love languages are. So for me, my number 1 love language is acts of service. I love serving other people. I get great joy and aliveness and fulfillment, and I'm so energized by serving other people. So why does it matter? Because here's something I want you to share with you. If you're taking notes, I invite you to write this down. The secret to living is giving. You want to have more joy? You want to have more self-expression? You want to have more aliveness in your life? Go serve other people. Through your church, your place of worship, through a school, through your neighborhood, through your community. Smile at people. Open doors for people. Be generous with people. And the more that you consistently do this, the more self-expression, the more joy, the more enrichment, the more nourishment, the more aliveness that you will feel. The secret to living is giving. Something I say every day to myself, sometimes multiple times a day as a daily affirmation, is my success is someone else's miracle. My success is someone else's miracle. My success is someone else's miracle. The more prosperity, the more abundance that I create through the multiple business opportunities I'm involved with, the more I create abundance and prosperity, the more I can serve more people and create a ripple of impact in terms of transforming the human spirit of humanity. I wrote an international book 2 years ago that went global. It's in over 100 countries today. It's on 6 continents, called Until I Become. You can order it on Amazon if you like. It's called Until I Become. And in that book, there's less than 100 pages, which people are not reading Until I Become. They're actually studying Until I Become. But one of the things I talk about in Until I Become, which I'm known for around the world, is I talk about in the book that as human beings, all we are is a network of conversations. All we are is a network of conversations. See, if we're up in the International Space Station and we're looking down on planet Earth, and we look at all these human beings, these 7+ billion human beings in all these countries and continents around the world, what we would discover is that we're just a network of conversations. But here's something to consider. As children growing up depends on our environments. Now, I was always taught, don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. When I went to public school, I was taught, don't talk to strangers. But I'm here to share with you from my experience, strangers are everything we want, everything we need, and everything we desire in our lives. I want to encourage you to safely talk to strangers. When you're on an airplane, you're on public transit, you're out in public, you're on social media, talk to strangers. You see, most people don't listen. In fact, they're thinking about what they're going to say in a response to when somebody else is talking. You know, I've been in Dale Carnegie training. I've been in Toastmasters International. I've taken lots of different personal professional training development programs to train and develop myself to become a better listener. I'm consistently always working on myself in terms of my personal professional development to be better as a listener and asking questions. That's why I love being out in nature and getting to know people at a much deeper level, an authentic and vulnerable level. Because when we get a chance to go for a sunrise hike or a sunset hike or a full moon hike, we have such deep, rich, meaningful, impactful, collaborative conversations with each other. We build incredible friendships and relationships that last for many years. Some of us go on to do business together and do all kinds of deals. It's been a great, great, great process. I'm an investor in multiple different companies right now across North America because I met people or I took people out on hiking trails to get to know them at a deeper level. I serve on some paid advisory boards and paid boards of directors of public and private companies now because of being out in nature and getting to know people at a much deeper level, which builds culture, which builds teamwork and collaboration and workability. Now, benefits of participation. I get asked this all the time about take a hike, build a school through Link Foundation. You see, when you come out, one of the key things I want to share with you about being out in nature is the human brain. Our two primary functions in life is protection and survival. The human's brain is protection and survival. It wants to protect us and keep us safe. That's why a lot of times we don't take risks, or even when we get older, we don't want to take risks because of protection and survival. Because the mind's thinking, what if this happens? What about this? Here's best case scenario. Here's likely case scenario. Here's worst possible case scenario. You know, last year, I did an impossible goal. Something I never thought I would ever do in my life. I trained for 1 year. I actually summited Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, East Africa at 19,340 feet or 5,895 meters in elevation at minus 15 degrees Celsius in weather. It took me 5 days up on the Mashami route and 2 days back down. And I signed up and registered through a group out of Australia. We all got together, and for months in advance, we pre-planned on Zoom video conferencing. And then in July of 2023, we got together in Tanzania, East Africa. And when I arrived there in Tanzania a few days early to adjust to the time zone and climatization, I looked up at Mount Kilimanjaro. I thought, oh my gosh, this looks so much different than on YouTube or on Google Images. I think this is a bigger goal than I thought it was going to be. But what do? How do we eat an elephant? One piece or one bite at a time. And on Mount Kilimanjaro, they teach us, our guides and our porters, how do you climb Mount Kilimanjaro? Pole, pole. In Swahili means slow, slow, step by step, step by step. How do you climb these mountains? One step at a time. People always say, Darren, what hiking trails are you doing around North America for your Take Hike Build a School? And I share with them on hikingfundraiser.com, our website. And I said, pick a hike. It's not about doing the hike, which I invite you to do. It's about networking through a network of conversations, of building community and collaboration and creating human connection. You know, millions of dollars of business deals get done on our Take a Hike, Build a School events because people get to know each other, like each other, and trust each other on a much deeper level. It's not transactional. It becomes relational, where you're building deeper, rich, full, connected, collaborative conversations. That's what I love about the benefits of participation. We've had many people, again, we've had a few hundred people the last 3 years that we've been doing pilots with Take Hike, Build a School to come out from all different age groups, all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, who are curious about going out into nature, who are curious about connecting and collaborating and linking together with other human beings to make a difference. So our impact so far, well, guess what? We've already built our first pilot school over in Liberia, West Africa. In November of 2018, I took a humanitarian trip over to Liberia, West Africa. Why Liberia? Well, Liberia, according to the United Nations, is rated in the top 5 most impoverished countries on planet Earth by the United Nations. And when I went there, I witnessed firsthand, had a front row seat to what poverty is. And it changed and altered my life. If some of you have ever done a humanitarian trip or been to a third world country, maybe in Mexico or other countries, Honduras or Africa or India, you know what I'm talking about because you've lived it. Some of you may have been through a church or through Rotary or Chamber of Commerce or other nonprofits or charitable organizations. But if you ever want to come on a humanitarian trip with me, you're welcome to, because through Link Foundation, we take people on humanitarian trips. You can learn more about it at hikingfundraiser.com, hikingfundraiser.com. In fact, we have a trip coming up to Honduras in a few months. But the cool thing is it changes your life forever. So we've already built our first pilot school over in Liberia, West Africa. We're building 100 schools in total. And our first school has already had, between preschool and grade 6, over 500 children go to school. We've helped to alleviate them from poverty, provide access to clean drinking water, food security, and education. And we've employed 15 teachers who are now earning a salary. They're earning an income. They're taking care of their lives, their well-being, and feeding their families through our Link Leadership Academy. Now, as part of our phase 2, we're going to build about 12 schools over the next couple of years in Honduras, Central America. That's where we're called to. That's where we're being led to go there. And through our discovery and our due diligence, we've met some incredible field partners that are on the ground there who have an incredible proven history and experience track record. And they check all the boxes as part of our discovery and our due diligence process with our board of directors and our advisory board through Link Foundation. So we're excited to be taking a hike and building a school and building this global community to enrich and nourish people's lives through mental health, human connection, while we take a hike to build schools by taking one step at a time. So we've already raised over $125,000. We've applied for over $20 million in grants through Link Foundation. And we've been in conversation with multiple different single-family, multifamily offices, high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals and families who are in collaboration right now as part of building these 100 schools. We've been in talks with different companies and corporations across North America to not only be corporate sponsors for our Take Hike Build a School, but also in terms of building culture and teamwork within companies, creating a passion project for these companies to actually get their employees, their vendors, their suppliers, their contractors involved to being accountable towards building the school. It's about $100,000 US to build one school. And we're committed to building 100 schools. So through grants, through raising money, through private donations, and through taking a hike and building a school, we will fulfill on our promise of building 100 schools around the world over the next decade to help alleviate poverty, provide access to clean drinking water, food security, and education. I'd love for you to have a seat at the table. I'd love for you to be involved with what we're doing, because not only will it inspire you, not only will it nourish you and enrich you, but the men and women that you will get a chance to network and collaborate with who are positive, supportive, charitable minded, who come from abundance and prosperity versus fear and lack and scarcity. The networking opportunities are incredible. The fun that you'll have, the experience you'll have. And again, you don't have to hike. All you need to do is register and come out. We've had a lot of people who come out and say, Darren, I've never hiked a day in my life, but they want to be part of our global community because the ripple of impact that we're creating to transforming the human spirit of humanity. So we're making an incredible ripple of impact. We're winning right now with Link Foundation and Take Hike and Build a School, but we're growing organically this global organization. You know, Psychology Today magazine did an article on us not too long ago. Psychology Today magazine. You know, it was a magazine as a kid I grew up reading, and they knocked on our door and said, we want to do a story on Link Foundation about the ripple of impact that you're doing across the world to make a difference in humanity as we build these schools all over the world to make an impact. So I'd love for you to be involved with what we're doing. I'd love for you to join us in making a difference as we grow and scale across Canada, the United States of America, and other countries to take a hike and to build a school. So with that, I'd love to take any questions that you may have. Any yeah, buts, what ifs, considerations, or maybe you have some contacts. Maybe you want to be a volunteer crew member. Maybe you'd like to register at hikingfundraiser.com to come join us at our next hiking event. Maybe you want to be a corporate sponsor, or maybe you know somebody you'd like to just gift or share this with that you want them to come out and experience the ripple of impact. Or maybe what you want to do is you want to help sponsor somebody who's never had a chance to be able to dream a bigger dream, to go out and to take a hike and build a school.
That's so great. Good job, Darren.
Thank you. I'm passionate about this.
Well, ever since I've known you, most of the times when we talk and I ask you how you're doing, you always say, I'm very grateful.
Yes.
And then it's just and then, like I said, ever since I met you in 2010, you're into something else, you're into something else. And then when you went to Africa, I mean, you just did it. You created a school, 500 people, 15 people employed with a purpose, making an income. And goodness knows what's happened to those 500 kids, where how much of a better place they're making the world. So, I mean,
Yeah.
talk about impact. I've put the link in the chat. It'll be there if you see this on the recording. It'll be wherever you're watching this or listening to this on the recording. So don't worry about that. I know a lot of folks that went down there was a good handful of people that went down to the hike after the OREG event back in May. And I heard some really incredible things came out of that event. And, you know, I couldn't be more thrilled. For me, that's what OREG is for, is to connect people that want to do big things like Darren to other people that want to do big things. So whether you're starting, you know, you may think to yourself, oh my gosh, well, I'm just starting out. Maybe you're working full time. You're like, I haven't even started my entrepreneurial journey yet, but I really want to. Well, let me tell you, being able to be around guys like Darren will help you do that.
Absolutely.
100%. So I'm really amazed at how many positive things people had to say about your hike. That was absolutely amazing. So glad that it's growing and growing and growing. And some of you may not know this, but I'm a Colorado girl, born and raised in Denver, Colorado. Actually just outside. It's called Lakewood, but nobody knows where Lakewood is. So, but hopefully you're going to be doing something in Colorado
We
too.
are.
So that is so I have a lot of Colorado connections. So if you're watching this on Facebook and you're one of my friends, you're one of my classmates from high school, that's most of them high school and college classmates, and you're still in Colorado, or if you're anywhere around there, reach out to Darren and get involved, because he's the best. He's just the best. You'll be a better person from knowing him. So, and I want to also mention Tatiana, that cute little girl that was standing next to Darren in the video. If you don't already know her, yeah, she's a cute little thing, but she is a powerhouse. And Darren, wasn't it so amazing at the event? She got up to talk, and the first thing out of her mouth was, "I don't do this kind of thing. This isn't my
Yeah.
Darren's thing." And yet she went on to speak so eloquently for the next I don't know, maybe she talked for 10 minutes, but she absolutely captivated the room and just told her story. And, you know, part of that is her history as an educator. And you could just sense how important this work is to her. So the fact that you guys have gotten together and you're creating this amazing project and growing it, I think it's incredible. Really, really incredible. And you and she met at kind of a networking event too, right?
We were in a 7-month training development course, a leadership course in Vancouver, and it was in person. And we were both participants. There was 87 participants that signed up for a course for 7 months, a leadership training program. And we were both participants. And I was not there to be in dating. I was there to learn more about leadership, about having a global vision and mission to build teams around the world, and learning more about working on business versus in businesses. So I want to get practically trained. And what happened was rumors started going around in this course that Tatiana and I were dating. And I'm thinking, what? Why are people even talking about this? It's so inaccurate. It's not true. And so what happened was, about 4 months into the program, through various different exercises and experiences with us being in this program, it was a very experiential, practical program. We got together, and then the group said, you know, you two, if you were together in a personal relationship, you would be a powerful couple that could really serve humanity and make a big difference. You know, it's interesting, is I barely passed public high school, right? In Swift Current, Saskatchewan, Canada. Tatiana's got 3 academic degrees, you know, was a high school educator for 35 years, was a government unionized employee. And here I was an entrepreneur all my life. And so, you know, with her academia and her background and my background, we come together. And, she has a lot of credibility with 35 years, 3 academic degrees in the educational field, of doing things at a very high standard of organization and structure and compliance, but also metricing and measuring the performance of what we do. And with my global contacts around the world, and that's what's cool about what we do. I always share with people, you never know, and we keep it a surprise. In fact, some of the events that we do with our Take Hike Build the Schools, we actually have people sign a waiver that for 24 hours, they can't post anything on their social media because of security and protection, because we have influential people that come out, celebrities, sports stars, all that stuff that comes to support Link Foundation. And you get a chance to hang out with people. We had a gentleman in June of last year, some of the people from OREG came out. This gentleman came out for the day. He was so generous with his time. He has a $1.3 billion real estate portfolio, 1.3 billion. And a number of the members of the OREG community got a chance to hike with him and spend a day with him. And the feedback, and you talk to these members that were there, they'll tell you it was just mind-blowing, the collaborative conversation to meet with a guy who has over $1 billion real estate portfolio in terms of the structure, the systems, the processes, how he raises capital, how he sources partners, how he creates employees, how he looks at deals, how he raises money, all that stuff. He was full transparency with people, and it became like a mentoring session with people. And so we have a lot of people who come out, and it's fun because you get a chance while you're on the trail to have trail talk conversations in real time and ask people these questions. These are, we have a lot of decision makers, a lot of business owners, a lot of top-rated entrepreneurs that come out to support Link Foundation to Take Hike and Build a School because of mental health awareness. Plus, sometimes I have royalty come out because I was knighted. And so I always invite royalty to come out. People say, what does that matter? Well, here's the thing. If you want to blow up your social media, you want to always look at leverage points. How can I leverage myself to get more credibility? So when you're around different sports stars or celebrities or CEOs or business owners or executives, it's not what you know, it's who you know, it's who they know that knows you. It's also about building credibility even when you're raising capital. In fact, even financial institutions like banks sometimes will even do research online, Google images, Google searches, to see who you're spending time with, who you're associated with in terms of a risk management profile. Right? Because it's all about risk management and asset protection. So sometimes people want to know who's in your inner circle. Why should I write a check and invest in you when I don't know who you're hanging out with and who you're spending time with and who's also impacting and influencing you on? So sometimes when somebody does some research and does a Google search on you and they see you at a hiking event and they think, oh my gosh, you're hanging out with this person, even though you may have only met him for a few minutes or a few hours or a few days, the key thing is proximity is power. Proximity is power. And so it's so important that, especially today, it's like, people who are struggling, I always say, you know what, you're continuously struggling because you're having the wrong conversations with the wrong people. That's a big difference. You see, you can never close $1 million deal at a $20 breakfast. I've tried, doesn't work. But when you get around right-minded people, see, there's people who have money problems. I have friends of mine that make so much money a month through multiple revenue streams. They're looking for asset allocation of where to deploy money. And when they get a chance to spend time with you on a hiking trail and meet you and hang out with you, because here's the thing. If we go play pickleball or tennis or soccer, we have our mask on. We have our image and our ego. We want to look good. We want to impress people. But when I'm out hiking with you and I'm sweating, the makeup's running, or you're stinky or sweaty and all that kind of stuff, we're chemically bonding together. Now we're dealing with the real stuff. Now you have a little bit of adversity, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of struggle. Guess what? That's the real condition of being a human being. That's the authenticity. That's the vulnerability. And that's your access to power, is your vulnerability. Some of you want to look too good. You're too polished, right? You want to dress looking good. You want to show up in a nice car. You want to show up in a nice restaurant, a nice coffee shop. You're too polished. And guess what? People won't write a check. People won't be your partners to do business with you or date you. But when you show up on a hiking trail and you climb up a mountain and you see that sunrise, that sunset, you support like Link Foundation to build in a school. Because the cool thing is we're not just meeting for a day to take hike and build a school. Guess what? Once we raise the money for that day, our target is $100,000 US. That money gets allocated through Link Foundation and now build the school. The people in June of this year who came out to take hike and build a school through OREG, well, guess what? In a few months, we're breaking ground in Honduras, Central America, to actually start building construction of those schools. And then the invitation goes out by email and through our social media to invite those people, if they choose to as participants, to actually come over on a humanitarian trip for a full week and see by the day they went out to build a hike, and to build a hike. Now they get a chance to go meet the people in those villages, meet the children, meet people in the communities, and look at how we're bringing access to clean drinking water, food security, and education. But it's all the collaboration. It's all the mastermind that you do in building rapport and building relationships with people that's relational, not transactional. So it's building a global community. And when you build that global community where people get to know you, like you, and trust you, guess what? People will want to do business with you and they'll want to help you because they've got your back. Because here's something to consider. Behavior never lies. We have people who come out who are high net worth and ultra high net worth investors and family office members who come out to support our foundation, Link Foundation. And they're coming out as part of their discovery and due diligence process because they want to start vetting people because they see people when they're on a hiking trail, how they really show up. Because when somebody's sweating, somebody has a little bit of adversity from elevating, somebody's maybe hot or cold, depends on the day and the environment and the weather where we are. You get a chance to see people's natural self of how they show up. Are they complaining? Are they excited? Are they a team player? Are they grateful? Do they feel blessed? Are they appreciative in this moment? Or are they so distracted by trying to pitch and sell people versus being present and just listening and asking questions? Because human behavior never lies. So it's a great process. If some of you are a little skeptical about meeting people, go out hiking with them. You'll get a chance to learn how they are as a human being, how they show up. It's a great way to vet people and do your due diligence. Even if you're single and you're dating, it's a great way to meet people, especially when you're.
That whole thing. I mean, it's, I keep hearing these days, it's tough to meet somebody. I keep hearing that. I'm very blessed to be married to a wonderful guy for the past 25 years. And I think frequently, and I'm going to say more often, maybe you'll meet your next partner, including love interest, at my networking event because you want to be with like-minded people that want the same thing you do. And the more you can surround yourself with folks that want the same thing you want, the better. And heck, why not get outside and do it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is too, is that most people, if you look at today, and this is, I always invite people to watch this, right? To just try this on in your life. Go to a coffee shop, go to a restaurant, go to a shopping mall, go to a staff room, look online on social media channels. Most people have 4 primary conversations topics: news, weather, sports, and traffic, or recently the United States election. But those are typically the most conversations: the news, the weather, the sports, and traffic. I want to have deeper conversations about self-actualization, human potential, legacy, ripple of impact, the difference we're making in people's lives, how we're making a difference in communities and families, and how we're helping to take care of the next generation and solving problems and making an impact. And so let the masses of the population talk about the news, the weather, sports, and traffic, but let us as business owners and entrepreneurs, let's collaborate together in terms of coming together as a collective intelligence to solve bigger challenges and problems in the world and make a positive difference in the world.
Yep. Amen, brother. So, okay, everybody, now listen, if you're listening to this, there's a link around here. And I'll include Darren's socials if you want to reach out to him. And on top of that, keep a lookout for the next virtual event. Make sure you keep in touch with Darren, however that means. Do you have like an email list, Darren?
We do. If people go to the website hikingfundraiser.com, people make a small donation. You get a tax receipt if you live in the United States or Canada, and then we have your contact information to follow up with you. We're not gonna, we do 1 or 2 reach outs a year, or we might make an announcement if we got an event coming up in your area based on your postal code or zip code.
Yep.
But that's a great way to connect with us, and you'll feel inspired doing that, knowing that you're helped to build 100 schools around the world. Even a small amount. We have kids come to us with their little piggy banks, or a young girl who's 14 years old doing babysitting. She's like, I just babysat last week and I made some babysitting money and I want to contribute. I had a guy not too long ago came to me with $11.13. He had some Canadian pennies and he gave it to us, and that money went into the Link Foundation bank account as his financial contribution towards Link Foundation, towards building schools. So everything counts.
Everything counts. Well, Darren, thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for helping the world.
My pleasure.
Good man. I'm so glad that we could do this tonight, and I hope that this event has a big impact. So thank you.
My pleasure. I'm grateful to serve and make a difference and enrich people's lives.
Now, I know it kind of sounds like a conclusion. Does anybody have a question? Anybody want to ask Darren anything now that you have him right here? If not, it's okay, but now is a chance. And I'll do a going once, going twice. All right. That's cool. You're still gonna know how to, still gonna know how to reach him. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you being here.